I'm Brian Rauf here with the Rauf Report. Remember to follow me on Twitter at BRauf33. We're going to now move on to a list that USA Today revealed yesterday of the highest paid coaches in college basketball. There were some surprises on this list. Not a lot of surprises at the top. The big takeaways, the Big Ten had 4 coaches in the top 10. Interesting to see. We're going to start here with one of those coaches, Archie Miller at Indiana, who's getting paid $3.2 million this year. It's his first year coaching the Hoosiers. He led them to a 16-14 record in the regular season. 9-9 in the Big Ten, but the Hoosiers were not supposed to be that good. So this is a solid record and something he can build on in the future. Certainly Indiana fans are hoping so. He had great success at Dayton before taking the Indiana job this offseason. He went 139-63 in 6 seasons with the Flyers, and he led them to the Elite 8 in 2014. He's certainly one of the top up-and-coming young coaches in the game, so it's not a surprise to see a school like Indiana, with the resources of Indiana, give him a contract like this. That's obviously based on what they think he'll be able to accomplish more than what he already has accomplished, but the program certainly seems to be trending in the right way. Number 9, might be surprised he's this low, but John Beilein at Michigan making $3.37 million this year. He's been the head coach of Wolverines since 2007, going 239-142 in that span. But he's had a lot of success of late. He's had 3 Sweet 16 appearances in the last 5 seasons, including making it to the 2013 national title game, where the Wolverines lost to Louisville, although Louisville has since vacated the title. So some Michigan fans like to claim that they won the 2013 national championship, but we'll see if that actually happens or they move on to claim that since it's been vacated. In total, he's got 715 career wins. He's one of, I think, the more underrated coaches in the country. He belongs probably somewhere around the top 5, top 7 coaches in the country from what he's done with his time at Michigan and dating back to what he did at West Virginia during his time there. But Michigan shelling out $3.37 million for his services. Now, number 8. This is probably the biggest surprise on this list and a guy that a lot of casual fans may not know about. Larry Krystkowiak at Utah, making $3.39 million. He's been the head coach at Utah since 2011. He's been solid with the Utes, going 132-95 since that time with Utah. But Utah's not exactly a program that has experienced sustained success for long periods of time outside of the Rick Majerus era. And currently sitting at 18-10, the Utes are on the NCAA tournament bubble and are trying to win at least 20 games for the 5th consecutive season. He's a coach that's got a lot of respect, particularly on the West Coast and in Pac-12 circles, and nationally he's got some coaches, a lot of respect as well. He's known as the other Coach K because Krystkowiak, nobody really wants to spell that and worry about that. So the other Coach K is what he's known as. He's led Utah to some good success. Nothing really over the top. Made the Sweet 16 a couple years ago, but I think the biggest surprise on this list at $3.39 million. Number 7, Bob Huggins at West Virginia, making $3.76 million this season. So he's been at West Virginia now 11 seasons, which is kind of a surprise considering many people still remember him as the head coach at Cincinnati. It doesn't seem like he made that switch to West Virginia all too long ago. He's 251 and 127 in those 11 seasons at West Virginia, but he's coached at 5 schools. He spent time at Walsh and then Akron and Cincinnati. Took a year at Kansas State before going to West Virginia. He's got 841 career wins, which is the most of any coach who is not in the Hall of Fame, which is why he's a future Hall of Famer. It's only a matter of time. He has not won a national championship. His last Final Four came in 2010 with West Virginia. We'll see him in the Hall of Fame, sooner rather than later. He comes in at number 7 on the list of highest paid coaches in the country. Number 6, don't know how much longer he's going to be there. We talked about him at the top of the show. But Sean Miller at Arizona, making just over $4 million a year. Had a lot of success with the Wildcats on the court, 242, a 72 record in 9 seasons at Arizona. They made the Sweet 16 in 5 of the last 7 seasons. That's really good sustained success that a lot of other programs are envious of. However, and this has been the big sticking point in Miller's career going back to when he was at Xavier, never been to a Final Four. He's been to the Elite 8 4 times, 3 times with the Wildcats, has never quite got over that hump to make the Final Four. And given what we know now, and if Arizona decides he's out at their meeting later today, he may not get a chance to make the Final Four anytime in the near future, maybe ever if he gets a chance to coach again. Number 5, another coach who's in a little bit of hot water in the NCAA with the FBI investigation, and then, of course, everything else going on at the school, is Michigan State's Tom Izzo, who's making $4.36 million this year, which is certainly well-deserved given his on-court accomplishments. He's led the Spartans to 20 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances. It's going to be 21 on Selection Sunday this year at 28-3. Even if they were to lose in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, or their first game of the Big Ten tournament, Michigan State is not in danger of missing the big dance this year. It's made 7 career Final Fours, won 1 national championship back in 2000, but again, sustained success hasn't been able to recapture another national title, although many think that could be coming for them this season. In his total 23 years at Michigan State, it's 572, 223, very solid record, a lot of success in the NCAA tournament. Number 4 now start to get another elite coach in the country, Bill Self at Kansas, making just under $5 million a year. 15 years now at Kansas. The last 14 of those, including this year, has ended in the Big 12 regular season title. That's the longest streak in NCAA history. However, on the flip side of Izzo, that regular season success hasn't parlayed itself into necessarily consistent NCAA tournament success. He's only made 2 Final Fours with the Jayhawks. Of course, that includes the 2008 National Championship. But Jayhawks fans, you can tell they would have liked to make the Final Four more than twice in this 15-year span with such dominance in as tough of a conference as the Big 12. In total, he's 440, 94 in 15 years at Kansas. Moving on to number 3, a big jump here we saw from just under $5 million to $7.15 million here with Chris Holtmann at Ohio State. The Buckeyes hired him away from Butler this summer after Thad Matta surprisingly retired in June. This was a bit of a late switch, but he's already had a lot of success with the Buckeyes, who were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the Big Ten this year. They were 24-7 during the regular season, which is a big reason why Holtmann is one of, if not the favorite for National Coach of the Year this year. During his 3 seasons at Butler, he led them to the NCAA tournament each season. They never made the Sweet 16. They always seemed to get bounced in the second round, the round of 32, before getting to that point. But right now, obviously, it looks like the Buckeyes made the smart decision, and given the fact that he's right in the forefront of the National Coach of the Year mix, it seems like a very solid investment from Ohio State to be giving him $7.15 million. Now, number 2, this should come as no surprise, these top 2 coaches. Number 2, John Calipari from Kentucky, $7.45 million per season. Great record at Kentucky, 267-62 in 9 seasons. He's reached the Final Four with 3 schools. All 3 schools he's been at: UMass, Memphis, and Kentucky. However, it is worth noting that the UMass and Memphis Final Fours were vacated. He has done very, very well with the Wildcats, though, as we all know, utilizing that one-and-done strategy to bring in some top recruits and turn that into success on the court. They've been to 3 of the last 6 Final Fours, which of course includes the 2012 National Championship, which is the only national championship on Calipari's resume. But given the brand that is Kentucky and how he's grown that brand really and become the premier one-and-done factory and the success they've had in the NCAA tournament as well as in the SEC, it's no surprise to see Coach Cal up there at number 2. And number 1, I don't know if there's any real question about this, Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, just under $9 million per year at $8.98 million. All-time winningest leader in NCAA men's basketball history with 1,095 career wins. 1,022 of those have come at Duke. 5 national championships, 12 Final Four appearances, 12 regular season ACC titles, 14 ACC tournament titles. Was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame way back in 2001, and he's won 3 national championships since then. The College Basketball Hall of Fame he got inducted into 2006. This guy is a legend in the sport. Duke gave him a lifetime contract a long time ago. It's no surprise to see him, in my mind at least, as the highest paid coach in the country. What do you think? Does Coach K deserve to be the highest paid coach in the country, or do you think it should be somebody like John Calipari, Bill Self, Tom Izzo? What do you think? Let us know in the reaction poll and in the comments if you think Coach K deserves to be the highest paid coach in the country. All right, guys, that'll do it for this week's Rauf Report. Remember to follow me on Twitter at BRauf33. We're finally in March. Conference tournaments are getting underway. It's going to be a lot of fun here in the next couple weeks. Make sure you stay tuned to chatsports.com for all the latest news and rumors and results from around the college basketball world. Download the Chat Sports app. I'm Brian Rauf. See you next time.